Hello and welcome to Desolate Instinct, our new series about a plague that's almost wiped the earth clean. So today, what we're going to start with is we're going to go through what's in our bags, as well as how we escape from the metropolitan society. I'm Matt, I'm here with Liam and Jai.
Hello.
Yo.
Jai is going to be telling the story and we're going to interact with it.
You guys have too much trust in me.
If you've
And
ever played D&D, it's going to be sort of like that.
kind of, just less nerdy.
Yeah, and less rolling and stuff.
What do you mean less nerdy?
I mean, less nerdy. Like,
It's complete bullshit right there.
um, we also, if you wanted to know about the bacteria that has cleansed the planet, Liam did a video that went up on Monday,
Yeah.
and so check that out. That's a whole half an hour of him blabbing about the bacteria. So if you like listening to that sort of stuff, you should enjoy that.
I would recommend, though, this is the first episode. If you haven't seen the prologue, just watch the first, minute of it, and that'll give you a good idea of kind of what's happened.
And you get to hear his epic trailer voice as well.
Yeah. So, are we just going to get into our bags now?
Yeah, you start, because you've
All
got...
right. So, we're assuming in this case that the world has ended relatively slowly for us. So Australia goes in about a month or so. Like it just gets completely wiped out in 3 months or something like that. But after about a month, it's so badly ruined that it's kind of fucked. So this is the point at which we're going to be starting, and we have prepared our bags in preparation for the end of the world. But of course we had to do it using stuff that we already have, because going out and buying stuff is a little bit hard when everyone is panicking about the end of the world and buying fucking tons of cat food. Okay, so in my bag, the front section is got the basics, kind of. So there's 3 medical kits in there. I hear you say 3 medical kits is not basic, but whatever. So the first kit is new. It has 1 small bandage, 1 large bandage, medical scissors for cutting clothes, and tissue, of course, if you're in that kind of situation. It's got 2 CPR masks, 16 band-aids, medical pad, antiseptic wipes, and large latex gloves. The second one's depleted, but it has large latex gloves, 10 meters of dental floss, 3 band-aids, 3 square band-aids, 1 gauze swab, and the third kind of medical kit, it's basically just this little box that has 14 large antiseptic wipes in them. There's also a space blanket in there, so that's that shiny aluminium foil looking thing that you wrap around you, and it's supposed to reflect your heat back into you, so you stay kind of warm and stuff. There's a calculator in there, because I can't be without my calculator. It's also good for construction, and it's for measuring the strength of rope, and especially with the stove, which I'll get into later. It's good to measure how much fuel you'll need and the like. There's a magnifying glass for starting fires. There's a rain jacket, and there's a little survival kit. It's a little kind of box, maybe about the size of it's just small, I'll just say that much. It's got a little medical checklist in there, basic survival instructions that are written by some Chinese man, so it makes no sense. A mirror for signaling. We're not going to need that because we are L-fucked. There's a whistle for signaling people. We also won't need that because we are L-fucked. There's a fishing kit. That's probably the most important thing in there. 2 snare twines for snaring animals, which is basically another name for trapping animals. There's threads, buttons, and needles for repairing clothes. Probably not going to need that. There's a pencil, some waterproof matches, a flint, a pocket knife, and you use the pocket knife to light the flint, or get the shavings. If you've ever used a flint and steel, you kind of know what I'm talking about. There's 2 pieces of kindling, which will take a spark very easily and catch fire immediately. And there's a candle, which is good for lighting the stove, because the stove needs a flame. It can't just it doesn't take just sparks, unfortunately. There's several bags. There's like they're freezer bags, basically. So they're useful for storing food, water, condensing water from trees, so transpiration and all that. There's lens cleaners, because I have glasses and I need them, and they're small. There's 2 survival books. This is probably one of the most important things that I have in my little bag thing. So there's one text-based but less instructional. Manual, not manual, it's kind of like a collection of stories almost, but it does have specific instructions on how to survive. But it's built for Australia. Sorry, written for Australia, not built. There's another one which is more manual-like, but it's mainly like designed for the Northern Hemisphere. There's some tarp, which is about 3 meters. It's waterproof unless you stick a whole lot of water on there. And it has like little metal ringed holes on the outside, which allow you to build shelter with it quite easily. There's a compass, a water purifier that can do 1 liter at once. Like it can purify 1 liter at once. And it can also purify like a total of 50 liters on one standard battery. And it's got 1 battery already in it that's full. Important to note, this water purifier can't remove the spores from the Clostridium enteroseptimalnutire. If you want to know what that means, watch the previous video, the prologue. Then we get into the mid-front, which is like this tiny little pocket. That's got a really bright torch, and it's got a charging cable with the torch. Probably not going to be used because we can't really charge stuff when we don't have electricity. There's a fully charged non-rechargeable battery in there. There's a belt in there. There's strong rope, so that's like abseiling, parasailing rope, so that's the really strong stuff. There's also a weaker rope, which is good for attaching things to your bag or building with, or things that don't really require, like things that aren't essential to living. In the midsection, this is the biggest part of the bag, so it's got all the big stuff in it. There's 2 metal water bottles. Neither of them have anything in them when I leave, because the water is turned off when we're leaving. There's a fold-out knife / pick. That's not meant to be a knife. That's meant to be a shovel. Let me change that. Basically, what it is it's like this little thing that you can twist out, and it's got a shovel and a pick. It can also be turned into a hoe. There's also matches. 90 matches. That lasts. I did some calculations at the bottom. A 90 pack of matches would last 1 month. But you need like 3 liters of methylated spirits to use that much matches. There's a hatchet, which is a mini axe. There's a fold-out saw. The blade, when it's folded in, it's only about 25 centimeters long. When it's folded out, the blade itself is 25 centimeters long. It can fold like a normal saw, or it can fold back almost like a scythe. There's also garbage bags with zip cords. Not sure how useful they'll be. And there's a cup in there as well, just because I could stick that in. In the back section, so the back section's kind of for stuff that's flat. So in this case, it's mostly clothing for me. So I have a pair of jeans in there, a pair of trousers with removable legs because productivity. 2 pairs of t-shirts, one rain jacket / all-purpose jacket. There is methylated spirit stove. So this is one of the most, again, another of the most important parts in there. There's 1 stove, 1 pot, and 1 pan in there. There's also a towel that's used to stop the burner from scratching the pot or pan, but it can also be used for other things because it's a towel, and towels are multi-purpose. So the methylated spirit stove uses methylated spirits, and it burns that like a stove, and it does stove things. Then you got the outside of the bag, so things that have been clipped onto the bag. You got a sleeping bag, which is rated for -4 degrees, a gas mask slash dust mask, because it's not really a gas mask, but it's very good at like removing particles from the air. There's a dust mask for Matt if he doesn't have one. He probably does have one, but yeah. There's a bottle of methylated spirits, which is 1 liter. 1 liter will last about 8.5 hours. So you need, as I said before, you need 3 1 liter bottles to last about a month, which is quite a lot of fuel. So there's also some stuff that I've got on me, which is non-essentials. There's a watch, glasses, a long sleeve shirt, 1 pair of jeans, and my phone. Mostly because it's just small and it doesn't really weigh a lot. So, I mean, it's probably going to be useless within a couple days because the battery goes. But, well, it's like... There's also the fact that it's a sanity keeper. Like, having your phone, it kind of... Even though you can't really do a whole lot with it, it's still kind of... Oops, sorry. It still has that kind of psychological effect, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my bag. Sorry for, like, rambling for, 20 minutes or so?
Okay.
Oh, only 10. That's not too bad.
Yeah. Looks like you got all the essentials. That's good.
Yep.
I'll go.
Alright. Matt, your turn.
I've just been writing what I've got while Liam's talking. So I've got a backpack, and in said backpack, I haven't structured it like Liam has, but the shit'll fit, right? So I've got
Oh, actually, can I interrupt you for a sec?
Oh yeah, what do you got now?
I've actually tried packing all of this stuff in my bag, and it does fit. I'll put a photo on the screen now of it all like packed up, and yeah, because it looks pretty dank. Anyway, sorry for interrupting you.
I've got a 2-person tent that we can take with us as well, but I've got 4 rolls of duct tape because you can use that stuff for anything. A pair of garden clippers, 2 paint filter masks, which are like gas masks, but the filters are only supposed to be for paint, so it might help, might not, but might as well have them.
Yeah.
Shampoo and shower gel to keep like clean. I've also got 2 bottle insulators. I don't know if you've seen them. They kind of look like bubble wrap, but they're not, and they're like tubes.
What?
Have you seen those? They're like basically like, imagine a big sleeve, but it's little sausages of air.
So it's like, are you saying it's a bottle insulator or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got 2 of those. I'll take in my backyard. I've got a thing of bamboo growing, so I'll take a small stack of bamboo because Liam uses it for fires and things.
I'll just mention real quick that bamboo doesn't burn very well at all.
Unless it's dried out, right? Oh no, it doesn't
No.
die for a long time, doesn't it?
No, it even when it's dry, it doesn't work very well. It's
damn.
pretty bad. But it is
You
still
can still
good
use
for
it
other
for
things.
construction.
Yeah, you can use it for construction, and it's also useful for starting the fires.
Yeah. A water bottle with water in it, obviously, because I want to drink. A thing of bandages in case I cut myself, because I'm known to trip over and hurt myself a lot. A thing of chess, and a thing of the card game just to keep us sane. Clothes, I've just got a t-shirt, 2 long sleeve shirts, a jumper, some runners, a lot of pairs of socks, and my trench coat, because you can put stuff in the pockets of the trench coat.
Mm-hmm.
As well as my military belt, because you can clip things to that as well. And I've got a homemade bamboo staff, so it's about as tall as me. I think I'm 170 something, so it's about 170 centimeters long, with a kitchen knife duct taped onto the end.
That sounds like fun.
For a spear.
Yep, just for chopping things down. So I've got that, and yeah, it's basically a spear. And that's it, I think.
Damn, Liam, fucking hell, bro.
What? Did I overpack?
No, you didn't overpack. not at all. It's perfect
Yep.
because you prepared enough for you, but also for Matt. Matt, you prepared for yourself, but also for Liam as well. But
Not as well.
not as well. But you guys seem to go very well together because Matt sort of brought some of the things that I was hoping that Liam would bring, but didn't bring,
Yeah.
which is great. It's fantastic.
Cool. I haven't weighed my bag yet. I still need to do that, but it weighs about, I think it's about 7 kilo or something. So it's actually not that much.
If you weigh your bag and then you weigh yourself, tell me what both are, please.
Okay.
I don't. I don't have. I have a thing that I could weigh the bag on, but it's not a stand-on scale, so I can't weigh myself.
Okay.
I should just mention that if you want to look at, I'm not sure, I don't think Matt's put his on Google Drive, but if you want to have a look at what's in my bag, so if you want to like reference that while we're doing our thing, then you can have a look at that. I'll put a link to the to this specific Google Doc for my bag in the description, and if Matt writes his up on Google Doc, I suppose I can put his in there as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll do that.
Yep. Explain what happened from our perspective.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Okay, I guess I'll take this part then. So, basically, I'll try not to drone on very long, but even though I totally will. But basically, the idea behind it is that we are the disease started with cows, and there were a sudden increase in cattle like death, and of course it went on the news, but because nobody really cares about rural kind of news, it didn't really matter to a whole lot of people, so not many people actually noticed it. And so there were about a couple, maybe 3 months or so, when the disease was killing off these cattle, but nobody really noticed. And there were cattle that were being exported that were infected with the disease. And when they're exported, because Australia is the world's largest exporter of live cattle, they're often packed in quite closely on the ship. So if even like one or two cows have the disease, then they can spread the disease to nearly the whole ship within, the couple weeks or whatever that it takes to get the cattle to another country. Couple weeks to months, really, depending on where it's going. If it's going to like Indonesia or America or whatever.
Yeah.
So after that, there's a significant percentage of the population, about 2% of the population, that gets infected with the disease without anybody knowing it, because the disease has a fairly long incubation period of about like 3 months or so before it really starts killing people. So suddenly a whole lot of people begin dying, and because it's people, it's a much more significant issue, and people die, and then more people get infected, and it exponentially increases. And Australia, from the first person dying, Australia becomes extremely endangered within a month or two of the first person dying. So there's really not much time between the first person dying and the country going into quarantine and airports shutting down and people racing out to buy 3 tons of cat food. So that there's not really a whole lot of time for us to actually prepare. And most people are caught off guard because of the fact that a huge amount of people were infected before anyone noticed. So people start rapidly dying, and it eventually the deaths become so rapid that they can't really clean up all the bodies before they become infectious or / explode or whatever. And that means the spores get exfoliated from the body, and that can infect other people, and it very quickly becomes one of the world's most infectious diseases. And Australia goes under completely within about 3 months, but after about 2 months, the government shuts down and water is water services are shut down, electricity goes down, and about, I don't know, 85% of the population or whatever dies. So I think about 2 months is when me and Matt leave, I suppose.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Keep in mind that what Liam just talked about, that's only in Australia. That's not the whole world.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, Australia goes under within about 3 months, like completely dead. Well, not completely, because there's still a couple thousand people living, but yeah, the rest of the world is still large. It kind of lags behind.
Still gets it quite a lot though.
Yeah, certainly. If you go back to the previous episode, the prologue, and if you have Plague Inc. involved, then you can see what kind of happens. I might even put up for the next few minutes, put up a little video of the Plague Inc. scenario playing out. Yeah, Australia goes under very quickly, but the rest of the world still goes under within, I think it's about 250 days or whatever.
Yep.
So it's extremely rapid, and there's really no coming back from it.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm not sure there's a whole lot more I need to touch on about that, really. So me and Matt see all the news and go.
Yeah, you guys
shit.
just look at each other and you're like, oh fuck. So you head off, and where do you go from where you are, I guess? So at the time being, when you sort of find out that the world's fucked, like seriously fucked, like there's no chance of you living if you stay where you are. So
and it's likely that we aren't infected already.
Yeah. So in the story, you guys are neighbors. You're right next to each other. You're chilling over. You're just hanging out. You find out about this, and you're like, "Oh shit, we have to go." What do you do from that point?
Well, Matt, what are we going to do?
So
what we're watching the TV, and we've decided that things have gotten so bad that it's better to just cut our losses and bail.
Yeah, okay. First of all, pack the bags, because they wouldn't be packed yet.
Yeah, okay, pack the bags. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why we have stuff that sort of suit each other rather than just for us.
Yeah. So I go back to, assuming this is at your place, I go back to my place and begin packing while you also begin packing.
Yeah, then we'd probably nick a car, wouldn't we?
I don't know. I imagine, that most people probably would have the same idea. And if you've seen The Last of Us, I imagine it'd be kind of like that, really. Like, there wouldn't really be many cars to nick.
That's true.
There wouldn't be many cars to nick, but there would be so many cars to nick that have spores in them.
Yeah, exactly. So are we going to steal a Vespa, or are we going to run?
We'd make a makeshift vehicle.
Like a quick buggy?
It sounds stupid, but think about it. Like, there would be bikes and, like, scooters and skateboards, and we could, like, since we're still at home, we'd have, like, screwdriver kits and, like, drills and stuff.
My dad has a motorbike.
Your dad has a motorbike, except, can you fit 2 people on a motorbike?
Yes.
Yep.
Can you drive the motorbike?
No, I don't know how to drive a motorbike.
I have a vague idea, but I wouldn't want to be behind them.
The thing is with a motorbike is you can quickly lose balance and you're not going to be able to get it back up. So you can quickly make a makeshift things on the side to like chaining wheels where it sort of stays up and you don't have to worry about balance.
Yep, we could do that.
Training wheels on a motorbike. Hell yeah. Yep. Gangster.
Just stilts, kind of, I guess.
I'll draw up right now, I will draw up a sketch of that.
Alternatively, we could just, like, take some, Like just not push bikes, mountain bikes. I have 2 mountain bikes. Actually, I have 3.
You could absolutely do that. You could take some mountain bikes because they're less likely to have spores on them or anything like that.
I
Yeah.
reckon the bike could actually be the motor. I think maybe if we disassemble. So you put the 2 mountain bikes, right, and then the motorbike in the middle, and then you build a support line out to the bikes and use
The amount of time of trial and error.
I feel like maybe an easier idea would be to get one of because we have a Land Rover, and we have a bike rack for the Land Rover. Be easy to just stick the bike rack on the Land Rover and drive the Land Rover, and you have 2 bikes on the back.
Well, you could have said you had a Land Rover earlier on.
Yeah, I probably should have. Yeah.
What the fuck, Liam? So we're talking about how we need to get we need to get out of here, right? And then you go, a Land Rover. It's not affected at all. It's fine. It's all G. The fuck, man?
Well, I was saying we need something that can carry things, and you went.
Oh my
When
god.
the Land Rover.
Liam!
Oh well.
Okay, Land Rover with bikes.
Okay. Do we? I'm not sure how much fuel would be in it though. Would it be?
Oh
full
my
fuel?
god, just a fucking. Alright. Say, because you've been preparing for this long, right? You would probably have like jerry cans ready to fill it back up.
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I've got a couple.
Maybe
of
take the jerry cans with you. That might be a good idea.
Yep. I don't have any space to take them, but I think Matt probably.
You can put them in the back of the car. There's enough
Yeah,
space.
I think there's already one in the back of the car, but it's not full.
Attach them to the bikes as well.
Okay.
Oh no, just stick them in the boot. That'd be easier.
Mm.
So this thing's got a big boot.
Or like a 4x4, like a.
It's a 4x4. It's a Land Rover.
No, like a. Is it a car
Yeah.
or is it one of those little? Like,
No, Matt, it's a fucking spaceship.
I was thinking of a quad bike. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh.
No. Wait, Matt, I'll send you a photo of what it is. Okay, do you guys see that?
Let me check.
Mine's
Yes, I do. Perfect.
Yeah, you can fit a fair bit in there. You can fit, your dog in there or whatever. And
yeah.
your dog and a fair bit of
Okay.
other things.
Alright. So you've packed your bags. You've
Yeah.
got a Land Rover with 2 mountain bikes and how many jerry cans? Maybe 1, 2?
3. How to go 3? Because
Yeah.
I've got the petrol. That'll be about 1 jerry can.
Alright. Yep.
We could also put more in the back. Now, I mean, I wouldn't put much more, but like instead of having to have 2 backpacks, we could put extra things in there.
Yeah, but once the Land Rover dies, then
You have to carry all that stuff. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
yeah, you don't want to have any more in the car than you can carry.
Mm. Unless you use the car as like a
So I didn't get that. What'd you say?
Yeah, me neither.
unless you use the car as like a mobile house, like a caravan kind of
Hmm,
protect you from the elements.
I
guess
suppose.
you could like use that as a sleeping area for like say if you don't get out into the wilderness and away from society in the first day and you need to rest, that's a perfect spot to sleep because there's no way that any of the viruses can get inside of the car when you're
Yeah.
inside of it.
The most dangerous time is when we're actually at home, like, because there's your neighbour's probably died, so you don't want to go into your neighbour's house.
But Matt's
without
your
the-
neighbour.
Oh right, yeah, but other neighbour then. Perhaps.
Goddamn Farmer Jimmy died. Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
man.
we need to go.
Yeah, Farmer Jimmy died, so if you go into Farmer Jimmy's house without a gas mask, you're gonna meet his
Yeah.
fate too.
With the say if you don't have full body protection, what can happen from that?
So like full like hazmat suit, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And we'd have to wear the gas mask non-stop.
Yeah, but there's the virus only works when it gets into like an orifice of your face or something like that, and then it goes down to your intestines, right?
Yeah.
So as long as you've got ear protection, nose protection, lung protection, blah 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 blah, you should be okay.
Yeah, I think so.
How about
Um,
cuts? How about cuts?
Wipe your
Like
butt.
on your body?
cuts are dangerous.
Okay.
Cuts are dangerous in any situation, not just this like specific
Yeah.
one. Like if you get a
So
cut in the wild, you need to
yeah, no shit.
clean that shit.
Yeah. But say if you're like, say if you have a gas mask, you have like cotton wads in your ears, um, and you've got eye protection, right?
Yep.
And you should be fine with your face.
You should be, yeah. I'd imagine
Okay.
you would be, yeah.
But say if you go into a room that's got a dead body in it from the virus, like you said, how gas gangrene happens, and the spores fucking create like a cloud in the sky or in the roof rather,
In the room,
ceiling,
just generally,
in
yeah.
the room just in general, yeah. But say if you're completely fucking naked, right, and you had the gas gear on your face, you're fine with your face, but you have a tiny cut on your hand, and you sort of like walk around in there, and you don't notice the body, and the virus is getting into your cut. Is that horrible?
Um, it's probably likely, yeah. I'd imagine it would be.
Alright. But afterwards, you would, like, say if you found the body afterwards in that room, you would have to clean out your fingernails, wouldn't you?
Yes, that's important. Any virus can live under fingernails for a very long time.
That's what I was about to say. It's just sort of like, because I've seen, like, documentaries and shit where people have, like, died from not washing their fingernails just because of the fucking viruses that go
Yeah.
underneath them.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I bite my nails, I don't have any nails. So, yeah,
Fair play.
But then you gotta not bite your nails after going in there, though.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
if you bite your nails, you're gonna ingest them, and Bob's your uncle. You got
It
AIDS.
it's rub though, easier to like get under my nail and stuff.
Well, they'd still be there.
Yeah, they would
They'd
absolutely
get
still
under
be
your
there.
nail.
Yeah.
So, alright, cool. I'm just making sure that's what's going on.
Gloves.
Okay.
On.
So you guys have two Land Rovers with mountain bikes.
You mean
and
one
three
Land
jerry
Rover with
cans.
2 mountain bikes?
Yeah.
Yes, you have Land Rovers with one mountain bike and 18 jerry cans.
Oh,
Yes.
one Land Rover. There's no plural Land Rover. Only one.
You have a Land Rover.
There we go.
You have mountain bickies
Yep.
and Joe can raries
Times 3.
times 3.
Yep. Yeah, that's about
Okay.
right.
All right. So where do you guys want to go from there? You've packed up the car. You're ready to go. Where do you go?
I'm thinking.
Wait, hold on, wait. Matt, did you just say driving?
Yeah, drive to the bush.
Oh, I thought you were saying just drive, just in general. It's like, oh no, fucking shit, you're in a fucking Land Rover. What are you gonna do with it?
Okay,
Fucking turn
I'd
into
say
a rocket ship and set it off the fucking space, cunt?
the most specific thing that I could think of would be to get into Land Rover. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And drive to Land Rover out east. I think the best place to go is probably a little bit further out. To where's this actually? It is still in the Yarra Ranges National Park, but it's wait I don't really know how to describe it, but it's quite close to the Yarra Ranges National Park that I was talking about earlier. Except it's kind of like on the other side of it almost. It's far less populated, but there's a lot of creeks that run through it, which would be very useful.
Well, the thing is, the national park is very big, so even if there is like people, you can stay away from them and go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And also, the car would... The amount of petrol that we've got, if it turns out that this place is actually packed, we could last minute decide to book it and go somewhere else.
About an hour to get there.
Oh,
But I reckon with the amount of petrol we've packed, we've got...
And it's
At
about
least-
50 kilometers, an hour and 50 kilometers.
Probably at least a day of
Yeah.
petrol. maybe going on a week maximum.
Yeah.
I mean, hours sake, as in like 24 hours is one day, not as in like the amount you're awake.
Yeah.
Because with a car that genuinely has a full tank, you can get a couple of days out of it. But with the amount of jerry cans, I don't know if we'd be able to fill it all the way up, or we'd only get like.
Jerry cans are only about like 20 liters or whatever, so it might be a bit hard.
So I was going to say we're probably not going to fill the tank up again, but we'll get it up pretty high. So we'll get just about a week's movement time.
I think a week might be pushing it, but well.
So 5 days. Go 5 days.
Okay.
In the middle.
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't
Okay.
really matter. We'd be able to get out to where we want to be.
Okay. So, you've driven out to this area, and there's nobody in sight. You have a whole sort of like a massive area to yourself, to you two.
Yeah.
So you've parked. You're not too low on petrol, because the Land Rovers take quite a lot of petrol, so you're not too low. So now you just got to decide what you're gonna do from here. You're in the woods. What are you gonna do?